The call came on a quiet Thursday night, right as I sat down with a reheated bowl of pasta. Seeing Evan's name flash across my phone made something warm rise in my chest. I had not heard from him in a while, and part of me wondered if he finally wanted to reconnect. I answered on the second ring. "Hey, Ev Lauren." He cut in, his voice flat. "Brianna does not want you at the wedding. She thinks you are suffocating and pathetic." My hand froze around the fork. "Wedding. Evan, you are getting married." A pause, a soft exhale, a tiny, muffled voice behind him. Then Evan whispered, "Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday." My voice cracked, thin as paper. "Why did you not tell me?" before he could answer. A sharper voice slid into the call. "That would be me," Brianna Hale said. "He did not tell you because it would have stressed him out. Honestly, Lauren, you hovering over him is exhausting." I felt something in my chest twist. "Let me talk to my brother." "No," she said, almost laughing. "He does not need your approval or your money anymore." "Bree," Evan murmured. "Maybe I should—" "You will not." She snapped. I swallowed hard. "Evan, if this is how you feel, say it to me." He hesitated long enough to make the silence cruel. I need space. Lauren, I need to stand on my own." There it was, a clean, dull blade sliding in. The line clicked dead. For a long moment, I just sat there, staring at the wall while the pasta cooled. My hands shook, but my thoughts were sharp enough to sting. If you are still with me, stay. This story does not end with that call. It starts there. And what came after changed everything. After the call ended, I sat there gripping my phone so tightly my knuckles ached. The quiet in my apartment felt wrong, too full, too heavy. I needed air, but instead, I heard my mother's voice from decades ago. The night everything changed. I had been 23 when the state trooper knocked on our door. Evan was 14, shaking behind me, and the officer said the words that rearranged our lives. Our mother was gone. Just like that. Evan had dropped to the floor, sobbing. I had pulled him close, whispering, "I've got you. I'll take care of you." I meant it. Every part of me meant it. 2 days later, the school counselor asked, "Do you have anyone else who can help?" "No," I said. "It's just us now." So I left college. I took a job at an insurance office, then a second job waiting tables at a diner. Some nights I came home so tired I could barely take off my shoes. Evan would wake up and mumble, "You okay?" "I'm fine." I would whisper, "Go back to sleep." When he got into the engineering program at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, I told him, "You earned this." He never knew I had been the one scraping together every tuition payment. When I bought him the loft, $520,000 of drywall and possibility, I handed him the keys and said, "This is your fresh start." He hugged me then, tighter than he ever had. Remembering that moment stung deeper than anything Brianna had thrown at me. And yet, even with all that history pressing on my chest, one truth began forming, slow but unforgiving. Evan had chosen his side, and he had not chosen me. The next morning, I walked into Oak and Steel Coffee telling myself I just needed caffeine, but my hands were still unsteady from the night before. I ordered my latte, sat down, and opened my phone without thinking. The first image on my feed punched the air out of my lungs. Evan, in a charcoal tuxedo, dipping Brianna under a canopy of lights. Her dress shimmered like she had planned every angle for the camera. The caption read, "Married my forever." The perfect day. My thumb trembled as I scrolled through the photos. Vows, rings, cake cutting, a rooftop venue downtown. All of it polished, curated, flawless. A stranger commented, "So happy for you two," a friend of Brianna's added, "The most beautiful couple." Someone else wrote, "Where's the family? That one hurt more than the rest." I pressed Evan's contact. Straight to voicemail. Again. Again. My heart thudded louder with every unanswered call. On the sixth attempt, the line finally clicked. "Evan," I said, breath-catching. But it was her. "Oh, God," Brianna groaned. "You again. I need to talk to my brother." She laughed softly. "You didn't even know he was getting married. That should tell you everything. Put him on the phone." "No. He is done being managed." I tried to hold steady. I supported him for 15 years. I deserve a conversation. "Sweetheart," she said. Smug. "You deserve distance." Somewhere behind her. Evan's voice rose faintly. "Bree, let me," she interrupted. Sharper this time. "She's not part of our life." My breath shook, but my voice stayed even. "Evan, just tell me yourself." A long pause. Then his soft, cracking whisper. "I need space." "Lauren." The line went dead. Again. And something inside me went very, very still. I drove to the loft without thinking, the way someone walks toward a fire even while knowing it will burn. By the time I reached the 4th floor, my pulse was steady, not calm, not angry, just steady in a way that felt unfamiliar. I knocked 3 times. The door opened a narrow inch. Brianna Hale stood there in leggings and an oversized sweatshirt, her phone in her hand like it was part of her body. "What do you want now?" she said. "I need to talk to Evan," I replied. My voice sounded controlled, but something underneath it trembled. Brianna lifted an eyebrow. "Whatever you want to say, you can say in front of me." "No," I said. "I can't," she smirked. "You really think you get private access to my husband?" Before I could respond. Evan appeared behind her. His hair was rumpled, his shirt half tucked, his expression tired in a way I almost didn't recognize. "Lauren," he said quietly. "It's late. Let's talk tomorrow." I held his gaze. "No. You said I was suffocating. You said I was pathetic. Say it to me directly." His shoulders tensed. "That's not exactly what I meant." "That is exactly what she said," I replied, nodding toward Brianna. "And you did not correct her?" Brianna leaned against the frame. "Because he agrees. You treat him like a child." "I raised him," I said. "I kept him fed, clothed, educated, and alive after our mother died." "Here we go." Brianna sighed. The hero speech. Evan stepped forward slightly. "Lauren, please don't make a scene." A door across the hallway opened. A neighbor peeked out, phone subtly lifted. Another door clicked open behind me. Whispers carried down the echoing hall. Brianna's smile sharpened as she angled her phone. "You see, this is what we mean. Drama follows you." I looked at Evan. Really looked. "You are fine with her recording me?" I asked softly. "You are fine with strangers watching this like entertainment?" He exhaled shakily. "This is our life now. We just need space," Brianna added. "So close the door on your way out." The words hit harder than anything else, not because they were cruel, but because Evan didn't challenge them. I nodded once, stepped back, and turned toward the elevator. No raised voice, no tears. Just a hollow, cold understanding settling into my bones. I pressed the button. The doors slid open instantly, reflecting my face back at me tired, hurt, and suddenly, painfully clear. If Evan wanted to stand without me, then he would, and he would feel exactly what that meant. I did not cry when I got home. I did not scream. I sat at my kitchen table, opened my laptop, and typed a title across a blank spreadsheet, Mitchell Financial Exposure 2011 to 2025. Seeing the words made something inside me click into place. Row by row, I began listing what I had carried for Evan. The loft $520,000, mortgage equity $65,000, his Europe study fund $27,500. The airfare I had booked months ago, $5,400. HOA dues, utilities, internet, car insurance, rideshare plans. The total climbed past $640,000. My breath tightened. I had not realized the full weight until I saw it in black and white. At 10 that night, I called someone I had not spoken to in months, Morgan Reed, a corporate attorney I had met at a networking mixer. She answered, sounding half asleep. "Lauren, what's going on? I need legal clarity," I said. "Everything I listed is under my name. Can I unwind it all?" There was a pause, papers rustling. "Is Evan listed anywhere as an owner?" "No, only as a beneficiary on the education fund." "Then, yes," she said. "You can do anything you want. Sell the loft, revoke access, close accounts. He has zero legal claim." I exhaled slowly. And Brianna, could she argue these were gifts, not without written proof? Morgan replied, "You are completely protected." I stared at the spreadsheet glowing in front of me, the columns neat and merciless. "Send me everything," Morgan said. "I will double-check it tonight." "Thank you," I murmured. When the call ended, the quiet around me shifted, not softer, not kinder, just final. I added one last column to the spreadsheet, actions to execute. By morning, Morgan had emailed me back with a short message. "Everything checks out. Execute at your pace." I did not wait. My first call was to the airline. "I need to cancel 2 premium economy tickets to Europe," I said. The agent typed for a moment. "Refund after fees will be $3,900. Should I process it?" "Yes," I replied. "Process all of it." Next, I logged into the education fund. A small box asked for the reason for withdrawal. I typed owner decision and submitted the request. A confirmation appeared. $24,200 would be deposited within 5 days. By noon, I was on the phone with my old realtor, Mr. Ellis. "Lauren, long time," he said warmly. "What can I do for you? I want to list the loft." I told him. There was a beat of surprise. "Evan is moving out," I swallowed. "Soon." He cleared his throat. "Units in Crossroads have been closing between $560,000 and $610,000. We can list at $599,000. "Do it," I said. An hour later, digital forms arrived in my inbox. I signed them all. The property went live before the afternoon was over. From there, the unwinding accelerated. I called the HOA. Remove my payment method. I contacted the utility companies. Transfer billing to the residents or schedule shutoff. I opened the rideshare app. Remove Evan. Remove Brianna. Every step felt strangely calm, like I was untangling knots I had ignored for too many years. When I reached the insurance provider, the representative asked, "Are you sure you want to remove the additional driver?" "Yes," I said quietly. "Remove him." By evening, I drafted a single text. I did not reread it. "You wanted independence. From today forward, you have all of it." I hit send. Then I blocked Evan and Brianna. My phone went still. My apartment went quiet again. But this time, the silence did not feel empty. It felt earned. 6 weeks passed before I heard his voice again. I was finishing an online meeting when an unknown number flashed on my screen. Something in my chest tightened, but I answered anyway. "Lauren, it's me," Evan whispered. I stepped into the hallway and closed the door behind me. "How did you get this number? I borrowed a friend's phone," he said, sniffling. "Please don't hang up." His breathing shook on the other end. "Everything fell apart," he said. I thought we would be fine without you." I waited, listening to the unraveling in his voice. The influencer contract collapsed. He continued. They wanted weekly challenges, brand pushes, all this engagement. Brianna's videos barely hit a few thousand views. They cut the deal after the first month. I heard fabric rustle, a choked inhale. "We signed a lease in the River Market District," he said. "The rent was too high. When the contract died, we started using credit cards." $12,800 across 3 of them. Silence thickened. Then he said it. She cheated. The gym manager. I found messages. Hotel receipts. She said I was holding her back. He tried to steady his voice. Failed. I lost my job last week. 3 unexcused absences. The car got repossessed. I am sleeping on couches. I do not know what to do. I leaned against the wall, letting his words land one by one. Can I stay with you? He whispered. Just until I get steady. I will sleep on the couch. I will pay rent once I can. No, I said. A soft, broken sound slipped from him. You wanted independence, I added. Now you are living it. He let out a quiet sob. I was wrong about you, he said through tears. I ended the call, blocked the number. Then I walked back into my meeting and unmuted myself. The day after Evan's call, I signed the final sale documents for the loft. The closing price landed at $605,000, and when the wire confirmation arrived, I stared at it for a long moment, not with triumph, not with regret, just a quiet acknowledgement that a chapter I had carried for too many years was finally closed. I moved into a smaller one-bedroom in the Crossroads district a week later. When the leasing agent handed me the keys, she said, "Fresh start." I nodded. Yes, finally. My new place was simple: 1 desk, 1 couch, 1 bed, but every corner felt like mine. No obligations hiding in the walls, no memories weighing down the air. That first weekend, I joined a hiking group that met near the river. A woman named Jenna walked beside me and asked, "You new to the area?" "New to myself," I answered before I could stop the words. She laughed softly, like she understood. A week later, my manager called me into his office. "Your work these last few months has been exceptional," he said. "We would like to promote you to Senior Client Operations Manager." I accepted without hesitation. No one else's needs to consider. No one standing in my shadow. At night, I made tea, sat on my balcony, and let the quiet settle comfortably for the first time in years. My phone stayed silent. Evan did not call again. Brianna never tried. Their absence felt like space I could finally breathe in. If you have listened this far, thank you. Stories like mine are messy and real, and sharing them matters more than you know. If it resonates, pass it on. Someone out there might need the reminder that choosing yourself is not selfish. It is survival. And I learned, at long last, that independence only means something when it is finally mine.